Around a year ago. Yeah.
It
was a year ago in June.
Okay. Cool. And was that when you put a studio in your office?
Yeah. So we have multiple studios now. This is like mine, the room that I'm in, where like this is where I do all of our podcasts, and then like there's a bigger studio in the back that like all the other stuff kind of happens in.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you familiar with I'm not even close to my microphone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you know Hank Green?
Yeah.
Yeah. Online guy. Well, he's
from Indiana. Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Indiana. He lives in Missoula.
Oh, nice.
And his wife and I were on the board at the Missoula Children's Theater together for a few years. And of course, to me, when he came and joined us at dinner one night, to me, he's just, like, hi, Hank, nice to meet you.
Yeah, he's Hank. Yeah.
I mentioned to my kid, and I was like, yeah, I'll just, or my kid saw a picture or something. He's like, is that Hank Green? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh my God, do you know who he is? And I'm like, well, yeah, not really, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know that he was internet mega famous. But I bring that up is like when he and his brother, when their YouTube channel got so big, well, they shifted. He's a really astute businessman, and they bought a building downtown Missoula, and they turned it into they built a platform within a platform that's all educational. And they've got like 8 or 10 studios, like silent rooms in this building.
Nice, yeah.
They really built out well, and they've got education platform. They different YouTube people, but they've got there's a sex ed, and there's a science, and there's they that all have their own followings, but that's the hub, and it's generated this really cool network effect. So they're able to do cool stuff.
I love that. Yeah. Creators be creating,
That's it. And he's the one, they actually started VidCon.
Yeah. He started VidCon. He also wrote the book, The Fault in Our Stars, right? Which was
Hank's brother. I don't know.
That was his brother who did it. Yeah.
Yeah. The brother's the writer, and Hank's just a dude that likes to play guitar and became internet famous.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's really cool. Well, all right. So let's make it official, because now is actually 6:00 my time. Are you on Eastern?
I am. It's close to my bedtime, Sid. Not going to lie.
8 p.m. In
Kokomo, I got kids back
Indiana.
in school now, and like that's happening, and like I got to wake up early with them. I had a daughter start middle school this year. That's been a whole thing.
Really? Is it? And they already started back to school?
They started, today was their second day back, so they started Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah,
that
Tuesday.
seems so early.
Yeah, they do. They are earlier, and I think I didn't know that was only an Indiana thing, but like they also get like 2 weeks for spring break. They get a whole week for fall break. Like, so the whole thing is different than when I was a kid. But yeah, they have a much shorter summer. Yeah.
Okay. Wild. Well, for those of you watching, as you're joining live or you're seeing the recording, I've got Drew Larison with us, and you're the CEO, you're the founder, you're the visionary, you're 5 Door Media. First thing I want to tell you, though, is congratulations on 10 years with 5 Door Media. Well done.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah. 10 years. It's been wild. It's been good, though. 10 years hit me. I remember, like, speaking of my daughter going to middle school, like, I remember 10 years hit me when she turned 10 years old. Just like the idea of a decade of something is wild.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's exciting. Blessed to be here. Blessed to keep doing what we're doing.
That's cool. Well, it's so, for those that don't know, you're a dad, your husband, you are a business builder. You're the visionary. I didn't actually know that was going to be on your subtitle, but you're very visionary on in the scale of visionary integrator. You're like full of wild ideas.
Very visionary, and we actually in the agency about. I wonder if Aaron's watching this now. 4 to 6 months ago, like launched EOS internally. Mm-hmm. So like I got that title, and honestly, that title, like at first. I can speak freely here. It's very douchey to me at times, like the word visionary. So I really like struggled to like accept it. But like the more that we're doing what we're doing now and going down that road, I'm like, you know what? That is my strong suit. That is what I do. So I'm trying to like really hold it dear.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And it is true. And it's something to be embraced. I remember being in a client's home. So I get the window cleaning business. And I was the chuck on a truck for for 15 years. And then I had a helper. I was at somebody's house and we were working along, and I had two guys with me, and I was telling them what to do. And I turned back to the homeowner and I said, hey, sorry, I should be doing that myself. And she just looked at me and she's like, dude, somebody's got to be the boss. That's your job. You're own that. I was like, oh. And I'd never considered myself the boss. I was like always just trying to be the guy and a buddy. And literally like an offhand comment like that caught me in a way that literally changed the trajectory of how, I started a business then instead of just having a job. But,
sure.
So you are the visionary.
It also sounds like a Marvel character name. It's really weird. And actually, because Vision was a Marvel character. Maybe that's where I'm getting that from.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's funny. What?
Right.
So, what possessed you in the first place to start a agency?
Great question. I was that classic 20-year-old, which is so crazy to think that was 16 years ago now. Had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I had zero vision, I guess, of where I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. And I had a buddy of mine who played a mentor role for me, still good friends with him today. And we really sat down and we realized I loved being creative. I'm a musician, so I like the creative world. I love people. I love technology. And this was right around when Gary Vaynerchuk's first book called Crush It came out.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me to read it. And it kind of just blew my mind of what this world was of internet marketing, specifically social media marketing at that time. And what was possible in the world that we're living in. And I, got a job in the marketing world. I worked at a car dealership. Actually, I always liked saying my first job in marketing was a local gym that my now wife worked at and hooked me up with this job. She's very excited to see you, by the way, in 2 weeks. And she worked at the gym and she got me my first job in marketing, which was I got to run the Facebook page while working the front desk and making protein shakes. That was literally my introduction to marketing. And this was, I think this, like I said, this was 16 years ago and Facebook was just a whole different world. And we did some crazy stuff. Shout out Club Fitness 24. It does not exist anymore, but that was the name of the gym. And we did these things and they literally was we don't know what to tell you to do. So we don't know what to tell you to do. So do whatever you want.
That's
so
cool.
We did these contests where hey, the first person to come into the gym, run a mile on a treadmill gets a free membership for a year. And I'm not kidding. 30 people showed up.
No way.
Just this wild experience of what Facebook marketing was.
All right. I've got a specific question for you about that. But first, let me tell everybody hellos are popping in. We got JC is in the house, and you're right. I do get lucky to interview the celebrities every night.
JC's got the best job, or Sid's got the best job. Yeah,
I've got a great job. JC and Angela are setting things on fire in the greatest way. And Visionary is a scary title, but you gotta love it. But this is the best. JC was in.
I joined Club Fitness 25. Did you win the membership, JC? Was that you running the mile?
You ran a mile.
No, it was wild, man. This the stuff that worked. And like I said, imagine posting that status now.
Well, that's what
you're going to get 12 people to organically reach that post, and no one's going to show up and run the mile. Because just Facebook's changed so much. So I went from that job and got another job, and finally that guy who was the mentor for me, he had an agency, and he hired me. Worked there for a few years, and then I left and started our own. So,
okay. When you left to start your own, and I don't mean this in an ego way at all, but did you have a moment where you're I could do this just as good as he can, or I could do the better job than what's his face, or
no, not at all. No. I was terrified when I left. It was, I don't know. I've always said the best things in my life are a great mix of terror and excitement. And that was one of those moments. And the reason we left, honestly, the agency was going in a direction that I just didn't love. I guess. They were going to like work with like larger companies. I grew up in a small business owner home. So I've like always just had a heart for like that small business owner. And
Yeah.
I wanted to start something that was designated for those small businesses to be able to give them like an experience that you'd get at a large agency, but for a small business. So like, no, it was one of the most terrifying days of my life. And of course, like a few days after we made that decision, like we find out we're pregnant with our second kid. You know what I mean? Like it's been a wild ride, but it's been a good 10 years. Yeah.
That's cool. So I know you work with a lot of home service type businesses. What's the kind of the scope? Who do you work with? What are some of your clients?
Yeah. So we work with, honestly, cleaning companies have become just our bread and butter. And when I say cleaning companies, residential and commercial cleaning companies, window cleaning companies, power washing and exterior cleaning companies. Like if you spend your days cleaning people's things of their home, like we do really good work for you. So we're a full scope agency. So we do anything from full on branding, website design and development, obviously like Google services like SEO, Google paid ads, Facebook paid ads, Facebook original, like organic content. But we also have like an in-house art department is what we call it. So we have like 3 full-time videographers on staff that we do a bunch of video work, a bunch of video editing for clients where we're traveling to them twice a year and getting a bunch of content. And then we come back and use it all year long. So we're a pretty like full scope agency. I tell you what, this world of AI, I did not have adding a new service to under our belt on my bingo card this year, but we're really looking into this new thing called AEO, which is the answer engine optimization, which is like helping your company show up inside of AI search results and like making sure you're staying on the cutting edge of that. So it's, I tell you what, that is one of the most frustrating, but also fun parts about the industry that I work in is just how drastic things can change and how challenging that can be. I don't know. I made a post yesterday talking about it's just been a wild, like last month, as you alluded, like we just celebrated 10 years. And when you do that sort of celebration, you're like on this mountaintop, right? Like you feel great. You feel like the air is thinner. You just feel like everything's good. We did it. We're like some sort of sense of security because we've existed for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And then this new thing called AEO comes on. I'm like, oh, wait. What
do we do with this?
Wait a minute. We've been here for 10 years. What do you mean there's a new thing we have to learn? You know what I mean? But like, that's just how this world of the internet works. And like AI is not going to slow that down any or ever. Yeah. So it's always something.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Cause like the AIO, I didn't know it had a name yet. I've just been calling it SEO for AI.
Yeah, it's AEO. So it's answer engine optimization.
It's not part of the song, Old McDonald.
No, there's no connection. Yeah, there's no connection to that. Weirdly enough, there is no connection. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like it's coming. No, with being on such that's the bleeding edge of the Wild West frontier of AI meets what the hell do we do with this when it comes to search? And there's not a rule book yet. What are the principles that people need to adhere to that will help them land safely?
And it's a great question. And like the things we're seeing so far are, it's not as of right now that drastically different than what a good SEO strategy is. But what the biggest switch you need to understand, and I actually watched a webinar the other day. I'm in like an master marketing agency mastermind, and like it's such a great group. And like they've been doing such good education on this to keep everybody in that group educated and on the, on that outer curve of things. What the biggest shift that's happening right now when it comes to users searching for things online, back in the day and currently, because let me say this too. I am not a marketer that is saying SEO is dead. You will not hear me say that. I am not just going to like do panic marketing and panic sales of like freaking you out that all that you've done with SEO in your life is worthless. You have to jump on this AI trend. I do not believe that. I think like the high majority of human beings still have not signed up for a ChatGPT account. Is it growing fast every day? Absolutely. Is it like SEO is dead? No.
Okay.
However, with SEO, if you guys have ever done it or participated in it, you know, SEO as a strategy has always been about keywords or key phrases even, right? So you're like a window cleaner near me or best window cleaner in Missoula, right? Wherever you're from.
Yeah.
What were the biggest switches we're seeing is people are stopping the idea of searching for terms, keywords, or key phrases, and they're starting to search simple questions. And I love that Marcus Sheridan is going to be at the Huge, because his philosophy of they ask, you answer is unbelievably beautifully tying into what it's going to take to be successful with AEO. Because what we're learning as users and consumers of the internet, for those that have jumped into that ChatGPT world, or for those who have jumped into a Claude or any sort of LMM model, which is a learning or LLM learning language model, like a ChatGPT or a Claude or something like that, we're not typing in keywords to those. Like, you don't go to ChatGPT and type in like best window cleaner near me, right? You're like, hey, Chatty, or whatever nickname you've given your ChatGPT. Hey, my windows are dirty. Who should I hire? Like, you're starting to ask questions like that. Or like, hey, how much does it cost to get my windows cleaned? Or you're asking like, how long does it take for someone to like clean my windows? Or how often should I get my windows cleaned? Like, that is now the mental switch that's happening for people on the internet that are looking for solutions, because that's what they're used to on ChatGPT. That's what they're used to on Claude or the Grok or Gemini or whatever they're doing. So we have to keep that in mind, because that is how people are soon going to be using Google. Like, we will, because that will be how we're used to interacting with that type of like search box. So they're going to start using Google like that. And they already have, because organic search results, honestly, good SEO has been slowly becoming less and less powerful as it has been, because you got to think, when you search for something on Google, you have the ads up top, right? And now there's that thing called the map pack, which has like the geography based results. And then you got to the organic results, right? What's happening now? What's at the very top?
AI summary.
AI summary, Gemini results, AI results, right? And then underneath that are ads. Underneath that is map pack. And then you're finally getting to the organic search results. So we're almost halfway to the fold of like a web page before we're getting to those organic results. So like I said, I am not saying SEO is dead. However, Google is making some drastic intentional decisions to show us their cards that they're all in on AI. And a stat that I learned the other day absolutely blew my mind. And if anybody's watching, I'd love for you guys to like guess this in the chat. Google Gemini. What do you think the most cited source that Google Gemini has been using so far for all like search results?
I have a really solid guess. Let's see if anybody puts it in the chat first. But I've been fascinated by this, how, and the hint is Gemini and Google search with Gemini favors people generated content, not AI generated content. And so the answer is?
The answer is Reddit.
It's my favorite color.
Reddit. So it's like ridiculous. Even
it's at the top.
But like, what blew my mind is like, how is YouTube not the answer? It's a Google product. You can like search anything on Google, find whatever you want. They're using Reddit for it. So like, now I'm just like, we're in the world. We're going to have to take Reddit seriously. Every company needs a Reddit profile. And like this content that we're talking about creating, which I posted something the other day, like every cleaning company, the top 25 questions a cleaning company gets asked that you need to have a blog for on your website. Because like, that's the research we're doing now. We're not doing as much like keyword or key phrase research. We are doing what questions are most likely going to be searched in a ChatGPT, in a Grok, in a Gemini, that we could have a great piece of content on your website that answers that exact question in full detail, and cross our fingers that Gemini will pull our search results and pull it up top. You know, so like, it's just this wild turn of events. You know, I think we've all used AI for certain things, but like, this is where it's really affecting marketing. You know, and like, not just marketing, but marketing strategy for like every business owner. And this is one of those concepts that if you get ahead on it now, it will pay off for decades.
Yeah.
Really believe that. So I mean, imagine like you were the first ones to figure out you could manipulate your website to show up better on Google. Like that's the world we're now living in, but for AI.
Yeah. Yeah. And is there a big difference between, let's say, a home service business or the type of like a brick and mortar or home service business showing up versus somebody that's maybe they're a national company or something, or like they're used to driving traffic to their website? Whereas,
I don't, as of right now, I think it's a fair playing ground because of what you just said. Like AI search results are preferring user-based content. Like this is so far, this is not a pay-to-play game, right? This is not like some big box company can come in and just pay the highest for an ad and they're going to pop up on AI results. This is like what content is out on the internet that someone has created, that someone, and like this content needs to be extremely valuable. I always make the joke, like, when's the last time you shared a mediocre Facebook post? It doesn't happen, right?
No,
like AI, we need to look at our content that we're creating with that AI mind, with our AI hat on. AI is not going to give results with a mediocre like blog post, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's not just getting out there and spamming content on your website, answering FAQs. This needs to be, and this is where it's really going to be a classic, like cream rises to the top, because like this content needs to be in depth. It needs to be deep. It needs to add wild value, and we need to push it out in as many ways as possible. So like this needs to be a video, this needs to be a blog, this needs to be on Reddit, this needs to be on other sites, and multi-purpose that content as much as possible. But it can't just be spam answering questions with a 2 sentence answer. This needs to be really thought out stuff, because that's what AI searches are looking for.
Yeah, man, that's fascinating. So I mean, it feels like, so in a world of AI where you can give ChatGPT a prompt and you can come up with 10 blog posts, and you can turn those into Facebook posts and Instagram posts and a script for a video, and you can do it all, and you can record it, and you can chop it up 100 ways, and it really is the ability to make spam content really fast and really prolific is great, but it degrades the quality of it all. So it's like the guy that takes the time to actually do it, write it, spend time and heart and actually expertise in it becomes the more valuable.
Well, I mean, quality always wins, right? But like I'm not saying don't use AI at all for this, but I don't think blog posts that are going to be 100% AI related or written are going to win, right? Because the AI is only going to know what they're going to know about what they need to talk about. But you, the expert, because remember, like you are the expert. Like if you're the window cleaning company, AI is going to know the basics of whatever they got else from the internet on how to clean a window or how often you should clean your window.
Yeah.
But you, the business owner, you, the company that actually does this every day, right? The ones with the squeegees in hand, you know this better than anybody else. So don't just type in, hey, write a 2,500 word blog post about how often you should get your windows cleaned. No, hey, AI, maybe we just ask AI to help with the format of it. Or like, what's the best way to lay out this blog? What are some things that I don't want to miss, right? And then you do the grunt work of like putting in those details. So I think it's going to be a mix, just like everything AI should be. Like AI should make your life easier. It should make what you're doing more effective and efficient. But don't rely fully on it, because don't forget, I understand it makes your life easier, but you're the expert. Like, you know what soap works best. You know how often in certain climates you should be getting your windows clean, right? I mean, all of that kind of stuff. So don't fully rely on it, but definitely still use it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really interesting. There was trying to think of what interview it was in. Denzel Washington was being interviewed, and he was with the cast of some movie that they had made or were making. I think the director was, maybe it was Spike Lee. It was definitely a prominent Black director. In the or said, well, why does it have to be about race? About who directs this and produces it? And he said, it's not race.
It's culture.
It's culture. You've seen that. Yeah. It's like Martin Scorsese did The Godfather.
It was Denzel. Denzel. Yeah.
And it was fascinating. It's like, because, the Schindler's List was done by Spielberg. And so he's a Jewish background. It's like, somebody else could have directed that film, but the culture, you don't understand it. But like, that's the thing that goes between ChatGPT and real, is like, I understand the feel of the soap and the smell of ammonia and what it feels like to be at the top of a ladder, that is not set as stable as it should be, but you climbed it anyway, and all the things that go into that, that's where it becomes real.
100%. Yeah.
AI.
And that's something ChatGPT will never feel, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm also really big into the world of like custom GPTs. And I think if you really like lay the groundwork on creating some custom GPTs, and like really do the deep work of building that out thoroughly, you'll get close. But I'm never fully recommending just copy and paste it straight from ChatGPT onto your website. Because why? That means everybody else is going to be doing that too, right? And like because that's the easy option, and like people choose easy. But if you take that extra time to like really toss in the years of knowledge that you have and make it real and make it personal, that's going to pay off.
Yeah, for sure. Have you started Marcus Sheridan's second book, his new book that just released? I think it released April 15th. Yeah. Endless Customers. It's interesting that.
Amazing.
Yeah. That like the whole concept is more potent now than when it was 12 years ago when the first one came out.
Yeah. So that marketing agency mastermind I was talking about, he spoke at it. Like he was there, and I got to hear, he spoke to our group in July in Miami, and like my wife was there with me, and we just looked at each other like, well, this is what we're doing. Like it was not even a question. It was like, this is the strategy we're at. And now our internal teams are like, we are fully bought into that. We had like I think a 6-hour meeting last Friday, like really deep diving into our own marketing, which marketing agency marketing in general is always really funny to me, because a lot of times I always say like, we're the cobbler with no shoes, but like we're the marketing company with no marketing. And like, there's probably a joke like the window cleaning companies have the dirtiest windows, right? Because you're always like busy cleaning everybody else's windows that you never get to your own. But like we really like took 6 hours with our leadership team and like really mapped out, what are we going to do? Who are we speaking to? How are we going to speak to them and provide just the most wild amount of value like inside of it? And it all started with like endless customers. They ask, you answer, just the whole Marcus Sheridan vibe. Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's very cool. So you've spoken at the Huge before. Or is this the first year you've spoken at the Huge?
First year.
Okay.
I've been multiple times. This is the first year I'm speaking. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And is there a tipping point for like, there's going to be businesses of all sizes. There's a solo operator, there's a guy with a helper. There are franchisees. There are people there that have 50 employees. Is there a tipping point where a business needs an agency if they want to do it right?
Do what right specifically?
Well, so I mean, if you want to be competitive and not just like you want to show up. You want to win the game. You want to get more business. So you've got to compete at a level where you're putting out the content. You're taking care of your SEO and your AIO, and you're getting your message distilled and focused and into the marketplace. My question is I'm kind of self-leading on this, but like most guys that are smaller, they try to do everything themselves. But I feel like they cannot do it themselves. They could start, but they're already too tired. They're doing 15 things anyway. You add this on top of it. But is there a point where you go, hey, this makes a lot of sense. I have a marketing budget now of, it's $1,500 a month, no matter what. Is that the time to start looking at agency to handle things so that it's both scaled, strategic, and done well?
Yeah, great question. I think there's probably a tipping point, but it all just kind of goes back to like, when do you start outsourcing your bookkeeping? When do you start outsourcing taxes? When do you start outsourcing your cleaning for your office? And I think it just gets to a point where you no longer can do it, and you're sacrificing like personal time or personal well-being by doing things probably you shouldn't be doing anymore. And like an agency is great for many things, but like outsourcing tasks is definitely one of them. Now I think like what our goal is right now is that we stop looking at as just like a marketing agency, and like we really want to be looked at as what we just call like a growth partner. Like we really want to be like your partner in your growth. And yes, that means marketing, but like that also means internal and external messaging. That means like really diving into your sales process too, because we know as a marketing agency, we're only as valuable as the leads we bring in and the sales that those leads turn into. So like we've really dove deep into looking into like our client sales processes. How can we help with those things? Like I have joked before, but I'm serious. Like I've had multiple CSRs fired in my life because we'll like dive into sales calls from the leads that we're bringing in, and like the just thousands of dollars I've heard people just let go through their fingertips is just wild. And it kills me on the other end of that call because I'm just like, man, we're busting our butts over here to get like really great leads for you, and you just let them go. Or like the worst part is like when it's a phone call and they just don't get answered, you know? And like, it's the same thing. Like if you're too busy doing that work, and I know Angelo and JC were watching this earlier, I don't know if they're still here, but like if you're too busy doing that work, how much is a phone call possibly worth to you?
Oh my God.
Especially if you're investing in marketing to get that phone call, right? So I mean, like at what point is it worth it to bring on a strategic partner from like a Unique Genius or like a company like that, to where just their presence to answer the phones while you're busy doing what you're doing unbelievably pays for itself. But like the same thing, like if you're, and like maybe that's, and honestly, in our conversation last Friday, we did talk about like, who do we want to work with? Like, what are great clients for us? You know, because like we're blessed enough to be at the size and the age that we are. We're like, I'm not saying we can completely choose our clients, but like we can tell somebody we don't think it's going to be a good fit, right?
Yeah.
And that sales process and like having them have a confident sales process is on that list of something we need somebody to have, you know, because like I don't want to spend their dollars, whether it's through our agency budget or the paid ad dollars that we're running their campaigns with, and then them just burning it by not having a good sales process. So like going back to like our goal of really not just your marketing agency, because marketing as a whole, I mean, look what we just talked about with like AI search results. Like what even is marketing anymore, right? Like we want to be like your growth partner, right? Like that's what we want to do. We like have a big dream of just getting as many companies as possible to hit that 7-figure mark and hit multiple 7-figure marks. Like that's why we exist, is like we really want to do everything we can and in partnership with like cleaning companies to increase their impact that they're having, right? And impact to us means a lot of things. Impact usually is revenue based, but like what happens with that revenue like really fires us up. We love the idea of like internal people in your company getting raises and getting new promotions and being able to buy their first house, and like knowing like, oh my gosh, we played a role in that, right? As their marketing growth partner, we help that person get a house, and we might never meet that person, but like we know those stories are happening. We want to see like impact being increased internally and locally, like in your communities, right? Nobody likes to talk about taxes, but like the better your company is doing, the more you will probably pay in local taxes.
Yeah.
We sit back every now and then and think like, guys, you know, like we're helping get better roads in towns that we might never step in. Or like maybe we're helping school systems who are desperate for funding in the world that we're living in right now. Maybe we're helping school systems become better, right? And like new books, new gymnasiums and things like that. And like imagine somebody gets a new gymnasium and a kid becomes the next Michael Jordan because like the growth that we helped happen in your communities, right? So like it's internally, locally, and then just beyond, because this is the internet. And we really believe impact does not have to be just confined between your company walls or the community that you live in. It could be anywhere. So like that's why we exist. Yes, under a category tab, we're probably going to be labeled a marketing agency, but we really look at ourselves as we're really here to be your growth partner every step of the way to help you grow that impact, no matter how that looks like in your company.
Yeah, I love that. I love being your growth partner, and you really did. That was a great expose, and I'll send you the transcript because you spelled out the business butterfly effect.
Yeah, it's crazy. The ripple effect of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool.
And it's just, we get so tied into, I think, what we do. And then the companies that level up from there, they realize how they do what they do. But like for us, we're full believers in that Simon Sinek start with why. And I think the companies that are able to like really figure out not just what they do or how they do it, but like, dear God, why you do it outside of just cash, is amazing what comes from that. So like we're extremely lucky. Like we went through that process in our internal team, and like we found out that why. And like it's such a cool thing to step back and just really think about the ripple effect of like an ad campaign that we're running, or a ripple effect of like what one YouTube video can do, or the ripple effect of, you know, a new website for a company, or setting up an automation, or like creating some AEO content for them to start showing up to a whole new audience on ChatGPT. Like the ripple effect that can come from that, like that's what wakes me up in the morning, is like knowing the states that we're in across this country, like that's happening every day. And it's a really cool thing to be a part of.
That's really that's impactful. My question for you, and you touched on it a little bit when you talked about start with why, was like, and I'm making a big assumption here, like working with a new client when you bring them on, probably one of the things that's really challenging is help to get them to clarify what they want. How do you help them clarify it and not just be vague? So they're really your partner. They're not just abdicating everything to you.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, that for us, that starts in the sales process. That starts in our first step, what we call marketing strategy calls, where like we're really trying to figure out who you are, why you are, what you are. Tell me your story, right? And I think because one of the easiest things business owners can do, and it's one of the things we don't think about enough, is like really remember why we started this thing. Like we're all a little crazy in the best possible way, right? We all have like that great percentage of crazy that keeps us up at night, but at the same time, like that's what makes us who we are. But if you think intentionally back every now and then, just like, man, why did I start? Like to me, when you were asking me about like, why did I get in the agency world?
Yeah.
I have like this heart for small businesses. And I see a country that we're living in continually and contingently, like the small business is just stepped over by like these giant corporations. And I'm like, they need help. I don't want to spend my days writing meta keywords into blogs for companies that like already have giant marketing departments. And like, I'm like, who am I actually helping? Right.
Yeah.
So that's why we started what we started, is like, we wanted to start for the little guy that was just like, was getting ignored by the marketing world. And we wanted to show up for them and help them with the stuff that I've learned how to do for large companies, but do it for the small guy. And like I said, I'm a 5th generation entrepreneur. I grew up in a small business owner home. So like, it's just really deep inside of me to help these people, because like I was the kid at the table hearing the questions, like my mom asking my dad, what happened at the shop today? And I would hear 35 minutes of what happened at the shop, you know, like that was my life. And like my dad owned a manufacturing company that their main customer was the automotive world in 2008. So like I saw like the highs of that business. Wow. I saw the lows of that business. Yeah. I saw my dad like scratch, sacrifice, bleed, sweat, to where during that 2008, no one in his company lost their job. Like I saw those stories that changed me forever, right? Because I saw that. And then I saw large corporations just get a giant check from Washington when I saw my dad doing everything he could. Now, in the scheme of things, I'm thankful for those checks, because they made things like easier in my life, because that helped my dad's customers get back on their feet. And like the ripple effect with that was great. But like I saw that difference, and we're here for the small business owner. So like going back to your question about like how we help, we ask a lot of questions. And honestly, a lot of times what you're saying is true. They don't know. They don't know that deeper purpose. Maybe it was just a guy in a truck and he didn't want to have a boss anymore, you know? So it's like harder to find that purpose with those people. Some people, through those questions, we can find that deeper purpose and deeper why, and we use that in their marketing. We're starting to use AI tools a lot inside of our agency, obviously, where we're creating custom GPTs for every single client of ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like one of the things we're doing is uploading every call transcript. Every kickoff call transcript gets put into the back of that ChatGPT, custom GPT that we're creating. So that thing is just learning you and your company. And honestly, sometimes it exposes stuff that we didn't get to see, whether that's through like writing copy or like coming up with questions. And like, oh yeah, our custom GPTs are vital to running our agency now, which is wild, because 6 months ago we didn't even have a Teams account for ChatGPT. Isn't that wild? Like how impactful that has been, to where literally we can think back 6 months ago, like how the heck did we do what we do? Like it's just, it's wild to think about. But I mean, we ask a lot of questions, and I think we ask a lot of questions, not just going down a list of questions. We ask a lot of questions because we know if we're able to really dig deep and find this out, it's going to make everything else much more impactful. We're going to be able to increase their impact tenfold if we're able to dig deeper to find that purpose. It's hard though. Yeah, it's not an easy thing.
That's right. Are you familiar with Perry Marshall? He wrote 80/20 Sales and Marketing. He wrote one of the first Google AdWords books ever.
Okay. Okay.
He's a brilliant marketer. He's really a science nerd that was a marketer on accident.
Love that.
But he and I've become friends over the last decade, and we were actually in Ireland, and we're having a conversation about marketing, but it ties directly into this. He said, when you can talk to your clients or your customers as if you're reading a page from their diary, you're locked. And like, to get to know them well enough that you understand what keeps them up at night. No, what really keeps them up at night. It's not just payroll. It's payroll because Shirley has 3 kids and her husband left. And if she misses a check, she loses the house and the kids get taken by the state. Like that kind of.
It's another layer deeper, right?
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to, I think one of the things more successful people in the year we're living in are doing with their marketing is stop selling services, start selling solutions. Like we are living in a world where everybody has so many problems. I mean, we know what the economy, every day we don't know what the economy is going to look like or what it's going to be. And we just lived through an election, right? And we're still reaming off of that. But there's so many problems that people live with. The last thing they need is just buy now, buy now, buy now. Like, it's the last thing they need to hear. Or like, hey, join now for this special. Like, that's the last thing people want to hear. They have problems. Figure out how you can turn your service into a solution, right? And solve that problem. And, and a lot of times in the cleaning world, that's an easier thing to do. Like, stop selling bi-weekly cleanings or stop selling window cleanings. Start selling, how much time is this family going to get back together because I did this for you?
Yeah.
And like, what do those hours equal? How many games of Monopoly can a family play on a Saturday? Actually, I chose the wrong board game. Those things take forever.
Okay, Scrabble. No,
how many hours of catch can little Johnny and Jimmy play in the backyard because they didn't have to get their house, like they didn't have to clean the windows today?
Yeah.
Right. How many more hours of like helping little Susie out with her math homework can a mom do on the weekends because they don't have to clean the house?
Yeah.
That's what you're selling. And that's what you're talking about, right? It's the layer deep. Like people don't need their house cleaned. People need more time with their families.
Yeah.
And like, that is something home service businesses, cleaning services in general, are so good at supplying. You're time creators. You're not window washers. You're not house cleaners. You're not house washers on the outside. You create time for people. And like, when you start thinking like that with your marketing messaging, you'll be blown away at the difference that comes out of it. Because like, people are so sick of being sold to. I'm so sick of being sold to. Right. And like, if there's one thing marketers are the best at, is ruining things. And like, I mean it. You look back at like all the things we've ruined over the years. We've ruined radio advertising. We've ruined newspaper advertising. We've ruined those little like things that we actually click, or the thumb, or the bars on websites where we actually didn't click with our fat thumbs on. I mean, like, we've ruined so many things. And I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that anymore. I want to help people see the things we're advertising are solutions, not services. It's not just another dollar you have to spend. You're gaining an hour. Like, you're gaining 2 hours. And you think about like the impact that can come from that. Little Susie in her math book, who knows? Maybe she'll grow up and like love math now and like become a college professor and win a Nobel Peace Prize. Like, God knows, right? Going back to that ripple effect. The ripple effect stops a lot shorter when we just start at like, yeah, their windows are cleaner.
Right.
What happens with cleaner windows? What happens with like a vacuumed floor? Not much. The ripple effect doesn't ripple as far out. But what happens when they don't have to spend the time to do those things? And what does that ripple effect look like? That's what I'm into.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I've got a good friend here in town, and she's got a commercial residential cleaning business. And I asked her one day, I was like, JJ, why do you do what you do? And she said, she was like crystal clear. She said, we take care of clients cleaning so they can do their best work. So like, that was like, it wasn't so we can clean their house. It's like,
you need to introduce me to her. I'd love to meet her. Because what she had, what was her name?
JJ.
Share this with her later. Because like, what she has figured out is such a minority of what that cleaning world has figured out. And like, it's the sooner you figure that out, the unbelievably better path you're going to be put on. Stop selling what you do. Start selling the impact it's going to have on people.
Yeah. Does it?
It's
Okay.
amazing.
I don't recall where I first heard it. It was probably Dan Kennedy. He says nobody that bought a drill wanted a drill. They needed a hole.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, that's the essence of it.
Yeah.
I think there was a book published 10 years ago or so. I think I probably heard about it from Joe Polish, but it said the title of the book was Marketers Ruin Everything.
100%. Well, honestly, I think I originally heard that from Gary Vaynerchuk.
Okay.
Like it's what we're best at, right? It's the reason we don't look at the ads that for some reason are still inside the little grocery cart at the store. Like, you know what I mean? Like we've ruined everything. And like, it's what we're best at. And like, I don't want to ruin things anymore. Like I want people to be happy when they see our ads that we make for people. I want them to bring like peace and joy because they know I'm not just being sold to, I'm going to be giving time back, which is why we love home services so much. Because like I said, like name another industry that this much trust to be a customer and business transaction has to take place, especially in that residential and commercial like cleaning space. Hey, here are the keys to my home.
Yeah, no
I'm
kidding.
allowing you to be there when I'm not for multiple hours a month. Commercial side. Hey, here's the keys to my business. Yeah. I'm allowing you to be there when I'm not there for hours at a time, right? Like the trust that it takes to build that relationship and to have that relationship is wild.
Yeah.
Why do we think shouting specials or shouting services or like offers is going to get it to the place where the trust is basic enough that they're going to fill out a lead form? Yeah. I don't trust people who hawk deals at me.
Right.
It's just like we're walking down the sidewalk and somebody yells, "Buy now." We gotta. No, I'm not trusting that human being.
Yeah. It's like going to the boardwalk or the county fair where they're shouting, "Hey, hey, hey."
Exactly.
It's just
like there's
noise.
I mean, trust is truly the currency that we're playing in right now, especially in the home service world. There is no bigger currency than the word trust. We are hoping that these random people trust us enough to clean their homes, to clean their windows, to spray chemicals on the outside of our home to make sure things, you know what I mean? Like the trust it takes. These are for so many Americans, the things they've entrusted us with are the largest investment they'll ever have. It's what they call home. It is their refuge at the end of the night. And they've just trusted us. And if we think we can gain enough trust for them to give us information to learn more about a service by just yelling what we do with them and not why we do it and why it's going to change their life. Yeah. Amateurs. It's an amateur mindset.
That's crazy. I love that. I love that. Well, we could go on until the huge convention. It's only 2 weeks. We could talk that long, right?
Yeah, I got nothing to do. No, man, I'm excited. We have a booth this year at the Huge. I think it's booth 571. Come see us. Like, we're giving away an iPad. We've got a lot of fun stuff in our booth. Come get a drink in our booth. We've got a little koozie for you. Like, we've got a lot of stuff going on, and it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to our little cluster of booth that we have. Our little booth cluster is like us, Dope Marketing, Route, House Call Pro. Like it's a great little cluster, and I'm pumped to just be with those people a lot. And I'm speaking at the Huge, and I'm not speaking on AI or AEO because honestly, when I agreed to do this presentation, that didn't exist.
It didn't exist.
So it didn't exist. Now, like I will say, so our namesake 5-Door Media, we have a 5-door system to. I don't know. I think that for the longest time, people get frustrated with paid ads and advertising online, not because the ads don't work. It's no one has explained to them why they're not working. And through our 5-door system that we have, we truly believe that customers online have to go through 5 doors before they're a paying customer. Yeah. And it is a easy thing to walk through. First door is platform. Second door is creative. Third door is targeting. Fourth door is post-ad engagement, what happens when they click on your ad. And that fifth door is sales. And like this is something we use all day, every day with our clients at our agency to diagnose what is going on in your ad campaign to make sure that any ad campaign can work. It might take some time to figure it out, but it's possible. So like that is what I'll be talking about on the Huge for my presentation. I make it very easy to understand because I think a lot of people are just so uneducated on like why their campaigns aren't working, and God knows what's been blamed right in the past. So we have built this system so it's easy to understand, and you can go back and figure it out and look at like each one of those doors to see where your people are getting stuck, tweak those doors until they're not, and then off they go.
Yeah, that's cool. I put Larison Media on the screen. Is it 5-door media?
5 spelled out. I think actually we might own both of those domains. It was FIVE doormedia.com.
Okay, I'm going to change that.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. And can I show it?
There it is.
Better?
No, we're excited. We're bringing like a lot of our team with us this year. So like, honestly, it's just been me at the previous years at the Huge, but like there's 5 of us total coming this year. Cool. And
very cool.
The team's really excited. We've got a lot of stuff fun planned for our booth. So like stop by, say hi, sign up to win an iPad. I'm really excited. I've been listening to country music, which is not me. And I know that's me and my brain getting excited for the Huge.
Yeah. Look who popped in. Your neighbor's here.
There's my neighbor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right 5-door media. That's right. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I'm very excited. Are you guys all booked? Booked your rooms and all that stuff already?
We're all booked. Yeah. We're really excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, cool. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you. I always look forward to seeing you every quarter, but this is a little nuanced, an extra, because I'm part of the cheering squad. Just like, go Drew.
And hey, what's that restaurant? We went with you. We've been many times now. Really good steakhouse, but a good pork chop too.
Is it inside the hotel?
No, it's not. You, me, and Aaron and Danny went one year for one of the masterminds. Or Urban Grub.
Yeah, Urban Grub.
We've got our Urban Grub reservation. Aaron's very excited to go back. So I mean, like we're just pumped to be in Nashville. It's gonna be a good time. Looking forward to it. Very cool.
And we get to see Dom there.
Dom will be there. He will be there. He's bringing his VP. Tyler is with him, which I love. Tyler, great guy. Love being at conferences with Tyler too. So it should be good. Dom is from Kokomo as well, for those maybe watching and listening. So we live in the same city in Indiana. We're lucky we can drive. It's like a 5-hour drive for us. So like we're gonna get a caravan down there and have a day with it.
Yeah, that's very cool. All right. Well, hey, it's good to see you and good to catch up a little bit. Please tell Erin I said hello. Look forward to seeing her. And we'll see you guys in Nashville in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
See you less than 2 weeks, actually. Yeah.
Do you roll in on Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday. We're gonna come in Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. We're right now. It's like the calm before the storm.
I believe it.
So let's get ready.
Yep.
Thanks, Drew. Good to see you, man.
All right. You too.
All
Bye.
Right. Good night.